Well, hello everybody. Despite the, I didn't see it, the washing line in the background, but despite the washing line, we are actually in deepest, darkest Cornwall at the moment. So it's deepest, darkest Peru, isn't it? Paddington Bear. But no, we are in deepest, darkest Cornwall at the moment. We're actually up by the Lizard in a place called Mullion. It's a tiny little seaside or fishing village. It's very, very pretty. Cornwall is anyway, isn't it? It's just an area of outstanding beauty. But we're here for a holiday. We're here for a fortnight. Look at me, I look like a conqueror. I've only been here a few days. So yeah, so we're here in Cornwall at the moment. There are a few things that I want to take you on, a couple of adventures, things to see. For example, there are something that I really, really want to see while we're here. In fact, it's probably one of my main reasons for coming are the stone circles. I really, really want to get involved and see those, have a look at those, show you guys the different types of stone circles that they have in Cornwall. Maybe not different types, but the various ones that they've got here. So that should be exciting. There might be one or two churches as well that I might sort of incorporate into a couple of vlogs. But yeah, we've got lovely weather. It's absolutely fantastic. Already spent a bit of time in the ocean, which has been really, really joyful and amazing. So we've been able to ground as well with Mother Nature, sort of shoes and socks off in the ocean, on the rocks, on the sand, on the earth. Absolutely blissful. Really, really helps you recharge those batteries, as it were, those spiritual batteries, as it were. So that was good, or that is good, and I'm going to be doing plenty more of that. Have done a couple of things already. Didn't vlog them or video them because they're kind of passé, really. They're things that lots and lots of people have vlogged, like going through little villages and towns and stuff that, you know, for example, where was it we were yesterday? Tintagel, which is a beautiful place, absolutely stunning, but it's been done a million times, and I try not to be repetitive of things that, or to show things that are repetitive that other people have got plenty of videos up about. So I just want to show you the sort of spiritual centres here, whether it be sort of Christian or pagan, and give you an insight into those spaces, those spiritual and magical spaces. So yeah, so come along with me, and hopefully you'll enjoy the sort of media that I'm going to put out, hopefully. Anyway, speak to you all later. Take it easy now. Bye, guys. So I've arrived for my first stop of the day, and this is Mullion Church. So it's Mullion Church. I'm not too sure of the history of it. It's really hard to get any kind of signal out here. So try and bone up on information and history is, whilst you're here, is just forget it. It's absolutely not good. So hopefully there'll be lots of information inside this building that will lend us some, or give us some of the information that we require of its history. So let's have a look. It's absolutely stunning. As I say, we're in Mullion, beautiful, beautiful part of the world, as is anywhere in Cornwall, really. So let's crack on. So you're in Cornwall, look, cream teas and church tours. And look at these graves, they're sort of Cornish slate they're made from. It is stunning. And true to form, it has the flag of Cornwall proudly fluttering on top there. Right, let's crack on. I often wonder in places like these how many of these poor souls fell foul of the sea or the ocean. I'm sure there are lots of sailors and fishermen buried in here. I'll give you an example of how harsh life is here. There's a headstone over there. So look, very, very old. Age 12 and 8 years. Some of it's illegible now, it's so old, but it'll give you an idea of how harsh life is in these tiny little villages, particularly at this time, as it probably was nationwide, but more so I would think in a little village like this. So there's the church there. with ubiquitous gull on top. Right, let's go and see if this is open. Excuse the gull. Very noisy. He's got a lot to take for himself. Oh, it is open. Hopefully there's not any kind of service going on at the moment. Don't interfere with that. So it falls under the Diocese of Truro. Look at that door, you know me indoors. Now, interesting piece of information about this church is that little, that looks like a cat flap there. It's not actually a cat flap. It's a dog door because many years ago, when local shepherds used to come here for service, they had to put that door in so that their dogs, their sheepdogs, could gain access and exit through the church during service times. So that's what that's there. It's a cute little bit of history there. And this is so ancient, this woodwork. Look how beautiful this place is. So ancient, just look at it. Almost like it's melting. Absolutely stunning. They do love their saints in Cornwall. Just look how stunning this place is. You're walking over there. Let's have a look at some of these carvings on these sides of these settles. Look at that for craftsmanship. You couldn't even replicate that today. Well, you probably could, but you know, this is done with love and pride. I'm sure there's not a lot of that around today. Probably some of it, but not a lot. I mean, look how ancient these are. So he's the actual patron saint of this village and this church in St. Mellinus. Look at these windows. Let's go and look at these. Just look at that. Do you know what? This camera will not do it justice. It's absolutely stunning. Isn't that gorgeous? A Reverend monument there. Another one to another Reverend there. Sorry, it's one of the ladies, one of the church ladies come in. Just stunning. Right, let's carry on, shall we? There's some very interesting conversation going on in there at the moment regards tea bags and supplies. Very important indeed. So the building itself, architecturally, dates back to the 13th century. I'm sure there was something probably here prior to that. But the pews themselves, they're obviously hand carved, and they are of the 16th century. So there's lots of, obviously, not with a lot of churches, there's adages and things that have been taken away. But I think that it becomes hodgepodge, doesn't it? But it is basically 13th century, with probably origins that go much further back than that. And it is dedicated to St. Melanus. And the interesting thing is it's a Grade 1 listed building, as it should be, because it's truly stunning. I mean, if you imagine the amount of people that have worshipped here over the centuries, I mean, families that probably still come in here, I would imagine, have got ancestors that throw way back to those dark, distant recesses of the past. So that makes it even more interesting. But then, of course, you're looking at families that have moved away. I mean, my family themselves come from various parts of the UK. I'm mainly British with a little bit of Icelandic thrown in. But my heritage is 90% Celtic, sort of Ireland and also England as well. But, you know, because my grandparents and forebears came from the West Country, a lot of them. A lot of them come from Southern Ireland, north of Ireland, but also the West Country, where I am. More so sort of back down towards Devon, although there were some in Cornwall. And I still have family there today, particularly in Portland, the Isle of Portland. I have family there. I mean, my grandparents great-grandparents went back there for at least 600 years, I think. And the family is still there today, which makes it intriguing. I'm sure that's the same with these type of villages. But I guess with the advent of trains and vehicles, people decided to leave for whatever reason, you know. I mean, I could imagine it was a harsh life here. Really would have been. Not so much now. But it still has its trials, tribulations, like all lives. But it is intriguing. It really is intriguing to think that, you know, where I'm sitting now, people have been sitting for hundreds of years. And in this building, people have been coming here, certainly, as we know, 13th century, but probably prior to that anyway, I would imagine. And of course, a lot of these buildings were built on what would have been classed or would have been pagan sites. So you don't know what kind of, getting into it, you don't know what kind of energies go through these buildings. And I often wonder, is the feeling of solace and happiness and joy and just peace, is that emanating from the building itself, or does it emanate from the ground? And were these grounds picked particularly for that reason? Perhaps there's some sort of energy channels or what have you run through them. Perhaps there's some sort of ancient earth mystery to it. I don't really know, but it does beg the question. It is a very interesting question. But nonetheless, it's a beautiful, stunning building. Absolutely breathtaking, and historically it's just second to none. And I'm thoroughly enjoying my time walking around it. And I haven't finished yet. I'm still going to have a quick look around, so come with me. So let's go for a little amble, shall we? Another little amble before we leave, and I'll grab a coffee. So there are some of the previous incumbents, previous reverends. On the organ there. And a royal coat of arms. With His Majesty the King. Let's have a look at this font. Beautiful. I normally have a little bit of information attached to them. I don't think this is this old. It doesn't really look ancient. Looks quite modern. I mean, sort of 19th century by that. just the craftsmanship that amazes me. So there's a wonderful lady who is the church warden here, and she was just telling me about a little bit potted history of the church, and these pews date back to sort of 1400s, sort of early 1400s. And the reason that they're so well preserved is because that during the Reformation, they were covered up and they were hidden from sight. And it was only when a reverend took over the church sometime later, much later, he thought, well, what's going on underneath those wooden blocks that are there? It looks quite not very nice, not very, a bit unsightly. So he removed them and he found these absolutely amazing and stunning pews, which, as I say, I mean, the lady was saying that this church is actually famed more for the pews than anything else, and I can see why, I really can. We'll take another little look at those in a second. But yeah, it's really interesting. And the coat of arms up there was bestowed on there was a king that came here. She's not sure which king it was, I'm sure I can find it up in the history somewhere. But he came here and he bestowed his coat of arms upon the church, so they have the right to display it. But the lady was saying they're doing lots to sort of bring it forward, but it is stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. And at the moment she was showing me some poppies that the villagers and the locals are they're knitting for Armistice Day, and she was telling me about the massive display of poppies that they have all over the church and all over a cross, basic plain wooden cross over there. And it does sound beautiful. I would like to see it myself, to be honest, but I won't be here then because we'll be back home. But yeah, beautiful. Let's crack on. So let's have a look at these stunning, stunning pews. I mean, look at this. It blows me away how ancient these are. I think they're representations of Stations of the Cross. Obviously this when it was built was Catholic, so it's still very Catholic. It's almost like the High Church of England in here, which is very similar to Catholicism with the Catholic Church. Look at these, they're just gorgeous. I guess they're not all Stations of the Cross, but some of them are representative of it, I believe. I can see why they're famed for their pews. I mean, look. Beautiful, stunning. There's the dog door again. One last view. I've got to touch these doors. They're just, oh God, they're amazing, aren't they? Just breathtaking. Look at them. The history and the things that these have seen. 1,000 years, almost. 1,000 years. I've seen some joy and some woe, some happiness and sadness. Some joy there, wedding. Look at the rafters. My word. Even they've got carvings on them, look. Amazing. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that little cruise around Mullion's church. It's I've got no words. It's just stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. It's everything that I wanted it to be and more. It's just breathtaking. Got these steps now, trying not to break my legs. So there she is behind me. Get the flag in. There you go. The proud flag of Cornwall there. Gorgeous. Now for coffee. I'm absolutely blown away by the carving on these headstones. I mean, look at that. Look at this. Look at this carving. Look. The craftsmanship, this goes back a couple of 100 years, this one. And the craftsmanship, it's all done by hand. Isn't that phenomenal? Isn't that beautiful? Today I guess it's all machine done, but then it's all done by hand. Look at that. Steady hand you'd need indeed. Quick last look at the graveyard. So I'm settling for a coffee now. That was a treat and a half. That was absolutely, that, as I say, that's past my expectations by a long chalk. It was just stunning. Really pleased and really chuffed to have gone in there and seen that church and just experience it for myself. You know, you can read bits of history and stuff. If you get the opportunity, go and see it. Any church, well, maybe not so much the modern ones, but the ones that got a history and got a bit of a sort of an essence to them. Not that the modern ones haven't, but you know, they've not seen as much, have they? They don't record as much history. So yeah, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'll get another video out as quick as I can, and I'll speak to you soon. Take it easy. Have a coffee now. Bye.